Sorry. Hello, everybody. Welcome to the Lifestyle Show here on New World TV. I still remain your girl and the host for the show, EJ. This is a show where we bring you bass-boost discussions. Discussions ranging from lifestyle, entertainment, gossips, celebrity gossips, etc., etc. So, if you haven't followed the lifestyle playlist, please do follow us on New World TV YouTube. Like, subscribe, and then keep sharing. Once again, you all are welcome. Now, with me in the studio today are two lovely people, but then before I introduce them, let me talk to you guys about the topic itself. Today we'll be talking about hustle culture, passion versus pressure. Okay, now this is a topic that has to do with our work, lifestyle as humans in the world. It has become a thing of it has become very it's become a pressure that everybody must work 6 days in a week. Right? And then when you don't dress up to go out, it's as though you're a very lazy person. Or you are seen as irresponsible. So that is where the name was carved out from. Okay, the term hustle culture. That's where we got it from. And like I said, I have two people in the studio that are going to be helping us look at this very particular topic. I have with me a very beautiful lady. You guys are very familiar with her, Miss Promise Emmanuel. Hello, ma. How are you doing?
I'm fine, thank you.
Is this smile for me?
Stop now.
Miss Promise is an actress. It's good to have you here once again.
Thank you.
Thank you for always coming whenever we call you.
The pleasure's all mine.
All right, ma'am. And then we have Prince Mali. Hello, sir.
Hello, how are you doing?
I'm very well, thank you, sir. Thank you for coming today.
You're welcome.
Do you mind introducing yourself properly?
Thank you very much for this opportunity granted to me once again.
Yes, please.
I'm Prince Mali. I'm a professional English trainer and a writer. I'm also in project management as well.
Okay.
Thank you very much.
All right, then. Thank you both for coming. Now, like I said, this topic, we'll be looking at passion versus pressure. Okay, is it passionate for you, or are you passionate enough to do this, to work 6 times a week? Or is it pressure for you to actually do those? And then, if you don't do it, how are you going to sustain yourself financially? You see, wisdom. All right, let's start. Let's start. So, in your own word, what do you understand by hustle culture?
Okay, I said earlier on, hustle culture is a mindset. That actually glorifies or help one to actually do more.
Okay.
To achieve a set goal or target.
All right. Okay, Prince Mali, please, can you help? How did this hustle culture originate?
Okay, thank you very much for this question. When we talk about hustle culture, we are referring to the Western cultures. For instance, we take America and Europe countries. For them, hustle culture is to work hard to achieve your personal dreams, your personal development, to advance in your career, and to be wealthy. Yeah, the pursuit of fame, of celebrity, of money. So that's where the idea originates from, and for them you have to hustle, you have to do more than what you can normally do.
Okay. Now, how has social media, how has it contributed to the rise of hustle culture?
Okay, it's of paramount significance to understand that social media has greatly impacted and contributed to hustle culture. For instance, on social media, we see a lot of celebrity, a lot of people showing from their wealth, their mansions, their cars.
Especially on TikTok.
Exactly. Especially, and it motivates the youth, the young people to work hard, to work tirelessly, to drink drugs in order to work to come back late at home. You see that they keep on hustling, working hard, and
just to meet up.
It affects their entire life.
Okay, Miss Promise, what do you have to say, please?
I would say social media actually has also affected the hustle culture, as he has said, but it has 2 ways. That is and realize where the pressure comes in, and then the passion comes in. Now, in the terms when we talk about pressure, it means going beyond your capacity, just to live up to expectation. That is where the pressure comes in. And passion is doing it effortlessly to still achieve that the same set goal. Now the question is this: are you now hustling under pressure or under passion?
Wisdom. Okay, so with the rise of social media, would you say it has increased pressure On hustling.
Yes, it has increased the pressure rather than the passion in hustling.
Okay.
Because everybody wants to get to a certain limit, even when you know you cannot be there. Now you want to outdo yourself just for you to actually meet a standard which nobody set for you. That is what I want us to know. You are the one who set that very standard for yourself. Nobody. The set did not say, oh, if you're not up to this level, you're not going to recognize you. But because you see somebody is trying to is driving a Bentley, or someone has a Ferrari, or has a mansion, or someone has gone to the moon, then I also want to go to the moon. And looking at your work resources, you need to, as in, work over time just for you to actually achieve that. And some of us, we end up killing ourselves instead of achieving those things.
Okay, Samali, how has hustle culture inspired ambition and drive?
Okay, thank you very much. Hustle culture inspire ambition and drive in the sense that it motivates you, it triggers you to think big.
Okay.
To aim, to think big, to achieve more. It's like you are not happy with what you are doing. You are not happy with your bank rate. You are not happy with what your state
when you see
of
a
mind.
lot, you compose.
You are not happy about what you are doing right now.
Right.
You are not happy about your position in that company, and it's like you want to achieve more. You want to acquire a lot of knowledge. You want to receive a lot of trainings. You have to work hard to combine a lot of jobs in order to survive and to be at the same level with others.
So, in other words, in as much as this has brought an increase in terms of pressure in the society, there are positive sides to hustle culture,
Yes,
right?
exactly.
Okay, then. So, how has it helped in building resilience and helping in terms of work ethics?
When you come to helping and building resilience and
Work
building
ethic.
what you call it, working ethics,
Yes.
I would say it's in two folds.
Okay.
That's the negative aspect of it and its positive aspect of it.
All right.
Now imagine in a company, my strength is not your strength. Now when a company expects you to achieve a certain target, maybe for example, let's say the target is 100, and you can achieve that 100, and your counterpart is now going for 120, you'll be forced to actually go for 130.
Yeah.
Meanwhile, your energy or your power cannot take that 120, that 130 you are trying to work for. That is its negative aspect. Now, its positive aspect is this. Now, most time it makes you think outside the box. Things that you feel you cannot do, you see yourself doing them.
Exactly.
Now, let me also say, for example, maybe you work in a place where they'll tell you, record yourself and then post in the work group platform. Now, do you know, because most of us, I cannot edit, so, but once you make that video, you are forced to edit. You see yourself doing, you're like, wow, so it means I can actually do this. So those the also culture actually help you, it make you to uncover those hidden talents in you or things that you feel I cannot do. You see yourself doing them freely and naturally.
All right. So there was something that Miss Promise added while she was talking, which is the fact that there's the negative aspect of it, which is you working to burnout. In other words, there are challenges and risk involved in hustle culture.
Anxiety comes in there.
Okay.
Even lack of love for the work comes in there.
Okay.
There are people, most of us, they are hustling not because we love what we are doing, just because I want to meet up to standard. Now, you don't find such thing in this part of the country we are staying in Togo. It's not rampant. But you want to see it, go down to Nigeria, go down to Ghana. That is where you're going to see what we call the spirit of this hustle culture in it. Is it extreme? How do we use the word?
In its peak,
at its peak, that's just it.
Okay, so what are some of the common signs of burnout? As in, when you tell, like she said, anxiety, etc. But what are the signs that you see in a person? Be like, yo, come on, you're pulling too hard. What are some of those signs we see in individuals?
Okay, as she mentioned earlier, hustle culture has some negative aspect, and when you talk about the burnout sound, you lack sleep. You lack sleep.
Yeah.
you have a lot of anxiety, a lot of depression, and it affects the quality of your works.
Really?
Because when you are working under pressure or in anxiety, you are compelled to do what is not of good quality. You are compelled to do what is something that lack values. Okay, because when you work with that pressure, okay, when you have peace of mind, when you are doing something because you have set to your schedule time for it, you do it perfectly. You do it without mistakes.
You do it at your own pace.
At your own pace, without mistakes. Because when there is anxiety, where there is depression, it's like in some company you see a lot of people, they work under pressure, but it affects the quality of their works.
Now, I understand that due to there was something you said, due to targets, you have to work extreme.
Yeah.
But doesn't that show incompetence in the individual, him or herself? No. Okay, no, sorry, I'm leading you somewhere. Doesn't that show incompetence? Because if let's say I want to employ you, right? Before the employment portal, there is a background check, a mental and physical check, and then you're being asked, right, to analyze your fitness for the job.
Yeah.
Exactly. So your mental capacity, the capability you have to actually work under pressure.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
And then you tick and say you can do it. Sure, yes.
Yeah, exactly.
Good. So doesn't that show that you're incompetent if you begin to start having anxiety, you begin to start having depressions, etc., because you're actually doing a job that you actually told me as one employing you that you could actually do? It's a question.
Yeah, exactly. It does not show your incompetence.
I beg to differ. Continue, please. No, wait. Continue. Let me.
It doesn't show your incompetence.
Okay.
Because prior to it, you need to be prepared, to be announced, and you need to develop that habit to work under pressure. Because what you learn, you can unlearn it. Yeah. You learn how to work under pressure, or you learn how not to work under pressure. Because when you are programmed mentally to work under pressure, it will be very easy for you.
Right.
Because me alone for a long time, I've been able to work under pressure myself, and wherever I go, I'm able to work under pressure. Okay, you can force me to do something, but I will do it perfectly because I'm used to it.
Okay.
But I think that when somebody is working in a company, for instance, that person needs to be reassured, to be prepared. Even that, if that person can even receive some kind of training to prepare, because in some companies, I've worked with some company, they have some programs
every 6 months.
Every 6 months, they have some quizzes, some tests, and they prepare you mentally to work under pressure.
Okay,
and it will help you.
Ms. Promise, what do you have to say?
When you ask me, there is pressure in pressure. There is pressure in pressure.
Yeah.
There are times someone is working under pressure, but you don't even feel you are working under pressure. Now let me now take this way. Now let me say, as a school teacher, now you are asked to, maybe for example, now your exams comes up in 2 weeks time, and you are supposed to type your exam a week before the exams, and now something happened. They now draw back the date. Now it means if you are supposed to use 1 week in typing that particular question, you're going to use what, 3 days in typing that particular question. Now that kind of pressure is not as pressure because it's an emergency. It just came up, so you should be able to prepare yourself to work that way. Now secondly is this lack of communication. That is where teamworks come in. If you work as a team and I feel my energy cannot carry this, I should be able to talk to my team leader. This I cannot pull through. Someone will be able to say, okay, I'm going to help you do this. As he said, there should be training.
Yeah.
We do learn every day.
Right.
I could remember when I started working at first, I was not very good in typing. I could take 1 week to type 100 questions for you. But now, even give me 300 questions before you can come back, I'm done with it. It didn't just come under a day. It took a lot of practice and patience from your employee or your co-workers for you to get to that level.
Okay. Thank you very much. So how does this hustle culture, how would you say it impacts our personal relationship and social life?
Now, as I always say, it comes in two ways.
Do you socialize?
I look at me and answer that question. Yeah. Now, this way I now want to bring in life experiences.
Yes, please.
You know, I always said when I was in school, my lecturer, they'll call me West African girl. Why? Because I've been in almost all these West African countries, and not just 1 year. At least I stayed
For a while.
number of time there. So I could tell you, when it comes to hustle culture now, let us take Togo for example. There is no hustle culture in Togo, because Togo work with rest. Togo will work from Monday to Friday to 12 p.m. They are done.
Exactly.
Till Monday again.
Yeah.
But go to Nigeria, my beloved country.
We work till Sunday.
It's from Sunday to Sunday.
Yeah.
Do you understand?
Exactly.
Now, when I went to Nigeria 2014, so when I got to Nigeria, I left Togo. I wanted to go for admission, so let me just go to the. So when I went there, my aunt went to market first day. So I was like, want you rest at home today, small? She said, rest, care. No, you don't rest in this country. I look at her. I said, what are you saying? You don't rest in this country? No, this thing continued 1 month, 2 months. You can only stay at home on Sunday, and that's from because she went to church. I didn't there was no church. Maybe on that Sunday,
she was still
go and hustle. So the day she fell ill, and doctor said, I need bed rest to 2 weeks. This one was at home for 1 week. She was like, this is why I did like this. So, and I was like, had you been giving yourself at least 2 days out of this whole 7 days to rest,
you won't
or
feel
even
this
a
way.
day, you will not feel this way. Now, come back to me. I socialize a lot. So there are times if I walk, I feel like the thing is too much on me. I used to leave my house. So when I leave my house, carry my bag, look for a hotel, pay, on AC, sleep.
That's great.
If it's not okay, hope there's a pool in the AC. I'll go, as in there's a pool in the hotel. I'll soak myself inside water. No, I'm not doing it because I have money, but I just want to have my mental stability.
Exactly.
Because after that exercise, you come out, you feel refreshed.
Yeah.
There are new ideas. When you go to your workplace, then you come back with a new energy. That is when you see at the Western world, they always have what we call the work leave. They'll give you 2 weeks out of work, 3 weeks, because they know you need some time to actually relax and get your mind prepared for the new season that is coming up.
Okay, what do you have to say?
Okay, it has both a positive and negative aspect. For instance, it helps us to set boundaries in our relationship. Also, in regard to social media, we have digital boundaries. Okay, it helps you to remain focused and to pursue calmly your goals or your objectives. Okay, also it helps us to be disciplined. We have a disciplined life with people, with our mates around us, because when we talk about the hustle culture, we are talking about something that has tremendous impact in our life and in our relationship, even in our families. Okay, you see, for instance, some parents they work too much to the extent that they don't have much time to play with their kids, and it affects even the relationships. You see that? So I think that we should reconsider it to know how to manage properly our times.
Okay, so why is this stigma surrounding, she pointed out something, right? I gave an instance of her, auntie that is always working 24/7 and was almost breaking down. Why is there stigma surrounding rest and relaxation in our society today?
Okay.
Let me hear from him.
Okay. When you talk about rest and relaxation, it's like
it's like a lazy person.
It's like a lazy person. When you are resting too much, okay, it's like you are too lazy. You are too lazy. Okay, but what people do not understand is that it's very important to work hard. Also important to work smartly.
I mean, come on, work and no play makes EJ a dull girl. Come on,
you see that? Because work is all about strategies.
It makes me promise a dull person. It makes you a dull man. So I don't understand which one is laziness that has to do with it again. No, continue.
No, it's like you need to know how to work. Okay, me for instance, I work with strategy.
Oh, okay.
When for instance it's time to prepare the courses for my student, I know how to manage this kind of courses. Okay, I know how to give the courses. Okay, you don't work as if you're about to be paid millions. Work smartly.
Yeah.
Don't pressure yourself. Me, I don't work under pressure.
But I think this working smartly has to do with when you're working for yourself. right? Like if you're working smartly, yeah, like you pointed out right now, it has to do with if you're doing your own thing for yourself. Yeah, you could relax and do it at your own pace. But imagine you're working for an institution or a company or whatever it is.
That's the same thing, because when you're working, for instance, for a company or for a certain institution,
right,
you need to know how to work within that organization. Well, when they give you some rules, from that rule you can also set your boundaries.
Right.
Okay, you can also know how to use your time properly, how to manage your time, and how to rest within that work. You see that?
Miss Promise, you wanted to say something?
Yeah, no, I'm coming to the stigmatization of resting. I would say that is only familiar with us in Africa.
Okay.
It's familiar with us in Africa because most times, you know, if most of us, I'm sure all of us have one relative who is outside Africa continent. Do you know whenever they come back, they see us as jackies?
Yeah.
That's the truth, because they over there, at times someone tell you, okay, I go to work on Monday, Tuesday I will not go to work.
Right.
I'll go to work, or that's like, is it called
A day
live in work? That's what they do, because that's what most times they have shifts. Okay, you work from 8 to 10, you work from 9 to this time, because they know human body needs rest. But until we Africans get to cultivate that culture of this system need rest, you always say anybody who is resting as a lazy person. Sorry to say.
Right.
That is why those from our beloved country term those of us in the French country as lazy people. Because once it's 12 o'clock, you go to the bank, nobody's going to attend to you till 2 o'clock.
Exactly.
Do you understand?
Yeah.
But go to our Nigeria, even though they break period, madam, bring it, how much do you want to put into their account? They are always working.
Yeah.
And you know one funny thing is it, if you break down, that work continues.
Yeah.
Nobody cares about you. That is just the facts. Once you break down, that organization, hey, yeah, sorry, you take medicine, or you didn't come for 1 week, they replaced you. So then, why do you want to actually walk yourself to that point of breaking down? As he said earlier on, you work what? Smartly. You don't just work for working sake.
All right, Miss Promise. How do we find balance? Okay, so how do we incorporate leisure and work? How do we incorporate leisure in work? Like you work and then you rest, and then you still work, and then you still deliver perfectly. How do we do that?
Now that is where timing comes in. You shouldn't use your working time for leisure, and then leisure time for leisure.
In other words, discipline should
yourself. There are times. Okay, now let me just take myself for example. There was a day I woke up. So I had a script someone gave to me. Let me just go through it. And I said to myself, let me watch this small movie. That's my own leisure time. After watching this movie, I will come back to this work. Do you know, I just, at the end of the day,
you forgot
I did not achieve anything that day. I didn't achieve anything that day, because I was watching that movie until the movie started watching me. I fell asleep. The day was wasted. Well, had it been, I told myself, okay, no, please, phone one side, I have 2 hours to do this thing. Then after 2 hours, then I come back to that. Within that day now, I would have achieved my work and my leisure at the same time. Okay. So timing and management is very, very
inclusive
important.
with discipline.
Yes, very, very important.
Okay, sir. How can setting boundaries, right? How can it help, in terms of our personal life and then our work ethic as well?
Yeah, setting boundaries is very important, because when you set boundaries, the more you set boundaries, the more you remain focused. Because it will be very, very difficult for you to be productive if you are not setting boundaries.
Okay.
For instance, when you don't have a digital distance, sometimes you have to get off. You to be disconnected from social media.
Wow.
Because when you are not setting boundaries every day, let's put the fact that every day people are sending you messages on WhatsApp, on TikTok, and even your emails are loaded with messages. You need to set boundaries. Sometimes, okay, you say, okay, during the weekend I'm not getting online. I will not be connected online. During the weekend I have this to do. You need to schedule properly your program. You need to be mindful of your time management.
Will you be disciplined enough to follow?
Because it's a mindset. Discipline is a mindset. It's a state of mind.
That's where he hits me hard now.
It's a state of mind. Okay, you need to set boundaries. Okay, from this time to this time, connected online to respond to messages. Even if you know that you are doing businesses online, it's good to get connected, to get back online.
Okay.
But if you know that it will be very difficult for you to remain focused, just don't be online.
It's not
Don't be
possible.
online for at least for 1 day or for 2 days.
Okay.
Yeah.
1 day is much.
Okay.
And some hours is okay.
Miss Promise, before we wrap up, what role does mindfulness and then self-care, play in reducing stress and still maintaining balance?
It keeps you healthy now. That's one thing. It keeps you healthy. Two, it keeps you fresh at all times. There are no times you break down or you are burnt out and all that. And secondly, it helps you to work productively, because a healthy mindset gives out a healthy answers. But once your mind is blanked out, there is no healthy answer coming from you.
Is it possible for the mind to blank out?
Yes. If not,
like while you're working,
you've not been at work and there is nothing as in your mind is as
you just
blank
shut down.
as
That's during pressure that it happens. That you just be like working. I think it's happened to me before. Like you just shut down. It just is like
I'm telling you out of experience. I'm telling you, as what I'm telling you is out of experience, because I once worked at a place where the pressure was much. And you know one thing about pressure is when you are not getting the value of the pressure, that's where it pains a lot. When you are not getting the value of the pressure on which you are working under, you really don't feel satisfied doing that. But once the value of what you get is equal to the pressure, that is where passion sets in.
Exactly.
Despite I am under pressure, I know after this, the reward is worth the time and the pressure.
I have a boss that is very, very demanding when it comes to accuracy. Right? When it comes to accuracy, you must be accurate. And then if the accuracy is not being delivered, there is the pressure to actually meet up with it. And at some point, when it gets to my brain, I'm in the house, so I'm not at work. I shut down. I'll just switch off the phone and leave it. But the worst is, when you turn it on, you still have to reply to the same message. So, but at some point, it helps. And then later, when you begin talking to me, he'll tell you something. I'm asking this particular question for a specific reason, right? I'm asking you this, I'm asking you for A, you're giving me B. So until you deliver at the A, we are not moving. I will remain there. But after everything, when you've delivered, he'll tell you sometimes just take a time off. I'm not expecting you to give the answer immediately. You could just rest, come back. And when you come back refreshed. So we've actually come to the end of today's show. Thank you very much, Miss Promise, for coming. Prince Mali, you have been amazing,
You're
both
welcome.
of you. Thank you guys so very much for coming. Now, the take home here is it's important to incorporate discipline, right? It's important to incorporate discipline. And like Prince Mali says, if you're fit enough, leave your phone for a day or two.
2 days.
You can leave it for a day or two. Then you come back. It helps you in terms of, your work ethic. Helps you to relax. It creates, a positive mindset to actually deliver perfectly. Until we'll come your way next week, stay blessed, stay safe, plenty love from me to you. Bye-bye.